What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Servo Quest. If you haven't watched episode one, go do that. I'm not recapping the entire thing for you. The short version is I'm fasting, I'm documenting it, and I'm not going to lie to you about what's happening. That's the whole channel. Episode one has the rest. All right. We are about 24 hours in the hole. I hope the camera doesn't cut that off. 23:54. And I want to set expectations right now because this is going to be the least dramatic video on the channel, 24 hours into a fast, especially coming off of a week of heavy eating. It is nothing. My body doesn't even know anything changed yet. I'm still running on stored fuel from last week's ramen. And right now I'm like a car coasting down the hill with the engine off. Everything I'm about to tell you is going to sound easy because it was easy, because it was supposed to be easy at this stage. The interesting stuff comes later, and this video is before that. But it still matters because if you're thinking about doing this and you've never fasted before, you need to hear what the first 24 hours actually felt like. Not from someone trying to make it sound harder than it is, so their channel seems more impressive, but from somebody who's just in it, reporting back. And so here we go. So I woke up this morning after about 8.5 hours of sleep. Good sleep. Not the kind where you wake up 4 times because your stomach's eating itself. That's not where we are yet. Just normal night. I woke up, I felt fine, and I hit the scale. This morning I was at 257. Now, if you watched episode one, and I already told you to, you know that I started at about 261, but I was 265 before that. And you know why I was at 261, which is that I spent the better part of last week putting away an unreasonable amount of ramen noodles. And I had a whole bunch of junk food and alcohol for the Super Bowl. Not a little styrofoam cup situation, mind you, but real ramen, full bowls, extra broth, kind of sodium intake where your body starts retaining water like it's a reservoir. My actual baseline, where my body normally sits when I'm not treating every meal like a sodium experiment, is around 252. So 261 was never a real number. That was water weight, that was bloat. That was my body doing exactly what it's supposed to do when you flood it with salt, which is to hold on the fluid. So 257 this morning means 4 pounds came off overnight. And I need you to hear me when I say that that is not fat loss. That is not even my base water loss. That is sodium working its way out. That is the body releasing water it doesn't need to hold on to. And being thankful that the ramen assault is over. We do not celebrate this. We do not put it in a thumbnail with a shocked face. We note it, we understand what it is, and we move on. Talked about this in episode one. I'm going to keep talking about it because it's the single biggest lie in the fitness industry. People will purposely bloat themselves up, start a program, lose their water weight in 3 days, and post it like it's a transformation. It is not. It is, it is simple plumbing and water retention. And if nobody tells you that, you're going to try this yourself, drop 7 pounds of water in 2 days, stall out on day four, and think it stopped working. It didn't stop working. The water weight just finished leaving. The actual work hadn't started yet. And that's what I mean when I say I won't lie to you. That is what honestly looks like, and it's boring. So that's good. After waking up, I would say it was about 10 hours in when I got my first stomach rumble. And I mean, it was a real stomach rumble. The thing was audible from across the room. It sounded like someone's trying to start a lawnmower in my abdomen. Both my cats stopped what they were doing. They just froze, looked up at me with the only expression that cats can pull off, one somewhere between concern and content, like, hey, fatty, we've seen you open the cabinet. We know you know where the food is. What exactly is the plan here? Just two little furry enablers staring at me from the couch, absolutely baffled that I'm choosing to do this voluntarily. I appreciate the support, guys. Really feeling the team spirit there. But here's what's actually happening at 10 hours, and this is important. The rumble is not hunger. It's not your body telling you it's need fuels. It's not glycogen depletion. It's not anything close to that. What it is a schedule. Your body runs on patterns. You eat lunch at noon every day for a few years. Your stomach starts expecting food at noon. So when the noon rolls around and nothing shows up, it sends a signal, growl, rumble, little pang. Not because you're running low on anything. You've got days of stored energy. I mean, I've got weeks of it. But because the routine got interrupted, it's a notification, not an alarm. And the difference really matters. I know from experience that I've got hunger drives in roughly three windows: 10 to 12 hours, which is what I got, 16 to 20, which I don't think I got at all, and then somewhere around 24, 28, just within the first day of fasting. Those are my body's scheduled check ins. It's a way of going, hey, we're just confirming, we're really not eating. Are you sure this is okay? We'll check back in a few hours. Each one comes, hangs around for a few minutes, sometimes 20, 30 minutes, and then it passes on its own. Uh, you don't fight them. You don't white knuckle through them. You just kind of let them pass because they will pass. The real hunger and the kind that actually tests you doesn't show up until the stored fuel starts running low. That's not 10 hours, it's not 24 hours. We'll get there, but right now, hour 10, my body is coasting. The ramen tank was still full. The rumble was just my stomach's checking its watch and wondering where lunch went. 15 minutes later, it forgot about it, and so did I. Oh, about 16 hours in, I hit the gym. Today was back day, and this is the part where people who've never fasted expect you to hear about how hard it was, how I had to dig deep, how I almost passed out on the lat pull down and powered through using pure grit, determination, and whatever sounds good during a voiceover. None of that happened. In fact, it was a completely normal workout. And here's why. When you eat, especially carbohydrates, and especially the volume of carbs I was putting away last week, your body converts that into glycogen, stores it in your muscles and your liver. That's your fuel tank, and at 16 hours, that tank is nowhere near empty. It's not even low. Depending on your size and how much you loaded up beforehand, you've got somewhere between 24 and 48 hours to store glycogen before your body starts thinking about switching to other fuel sources. Like I said, I spent a whole week eating ramen because it was cold out. My glycogen stores are topped off like a gas station a day before a hurricane. My muscles have everything they need. So I did full working sets, full weight, didn't drop a single pound off the bar, didn't cut any volume, didn't modify anything. And if you were standing next to me in the gym, you'd have zero indication that I was 16 hours into a fast because at 16 hours with a full glycogen tank, there's nothing to indicate. My body wasn't stressed. It wasn't digging the reserves. It was running exactly on what it had stored for exactly this purpose. That is biology doing what biology does. Now, around 18 hours, I've been home from the gym for about an hour, and this is where the second hunger drive window typically opens. I didn't really feel it this time. Maybe if I'm being fair, it was quite a little tap on the shoulder, like, "Hey, you just worked out." Normally, there's maybe there's some sort of carbohydrate refeed here right now. Maybe there's a protein shake. Maybe there's a protein bar. Maybe some chicken. Just putting that out there. You can go get it. And so I acknowledged it. I didn't react to it. I drank some water and I kept moving. I didn't have any crash, no fall, no wall to hit, no standing in front of the refrigerator with the door open, staring at the shelves like I was looking for the answer to life. Uh, the workout didn't drain the tank. I'd say it barely touched it, but we'll find out tomorrow when I go back. And I think this is the thing that surprises most people about 24 hours. They expect suffering. They expect it to be a marathon from the jump, and it's just not. Your body is an incredibly efficient machine, and when that machine has fuel, it runs. It doesn't care whether you ate 2 hours ago or 18 hours. It's pulling from the same reserves either way. And the hard part is coming. But I'm not going to pretend that it's hard right now when it's not. The most important part of this video probably comes here at hour 24. Um, Typically, on the snake diet protocol, once you get to 24 hours, if you're first starting the fast, you break, and then you go for 48, then you break, then you go for 72. Well, I do recommend that if you're new to fasting. 24 hours can feel like forever if it's your first time. But I am feeling really good right now. And one of the best pieces of advice I can give you while you're fasting is if you're on a roll, if it's easy and you're not feeling like you're dying, you're not feeling like you got a headache or you've got any type of heartburn or indigestion or anything, keep going. And so that is what I'm going to do. I am going to push straight to 48 hours. That should cut a day off of my uh, on ramp time. And we'll go from there. At 48 hours, at 72 hours, that is really where this kind of like progress report kind of stops. And we'll actually get into something where I have real information to share, real information to talk about.